everyone, Camilla here from Decodable Readers Australia. Today we're going to get some clarity around the concept of digraphs. Now, there is misconceptions and confusions between digraphs and blends. Blends in the traditional thinking. Now, if you've already seen our video from last week, The Truth About Blends, you'll start to understand that blends is a verb, something that we do to letter sound correspondences to decode the words. We blend them together, rather than the traditional thinking that we have two sounds coming together to make one sound unit, or a consonant cluster sound unit, like b and making bull. So, gone are those days that we think like that. What we actually need to do is think at blending level, where all letters and sounds come together to read words. Now that we have that understanding, let's have a look at a true digraph understanding. But before we do, what I want to do is take you through the meaning of the word, because once we really understand its meaning, we can get some clarity around the concept. Now, what I also want you to do today is leave with clarity so that you can be informed consumers. The reason I say this is there is so much confusion still out there on Instagram, on Pinterest, even at a consumer level in shops, to like your teacher pay teacher and consuming platforms like that. So what I want you guys to do is be so informed that you can spot what is good practice that's going to give you effective results and what you need to stay clear of. Let's have a look at the term digraph. Di, refers to the meaning of two, and graph refers to the meaning of something written down. So a digraph means that it has two letters representing one sound. Now, we have to be very careful with that meaning, because sometimes on Teacher Pay Teacher, Pinterest, I see things like this, digraph. Now, dia actually refers to something completely different. It means to go through. So when we have a look at digraph, it's actually not the correct meaning. So as a consumer, just be aware that a digraph is spelled D-I-G-R-A-P-H, di referring to two. Now let's have a look at some examples. We have consonant digraphs, where two consonants come together to make a completely different sound. So for example, the letter C and H coming together make the sound ch, not k, and together making k. I can't even say that one because we've got two unvoiced sounds, but C and H together making ch. We've got S and H representing the sh sound. T and H can actually represent two sounds. It can be our voiced sound of th and our unvoiced sound of th. And our NG sound refers to our sound as well, the letters NG. Now, we do have examples of vowel digraphs. This is where two letters are coming together to make a vowel sound. So the long vowel sound of A represented by AI, and E represented by E and A. I represented by IE, and O represented by O and A. Now, so that we don't get confused, I personally like to call these vowel teams, and that just takes that confusion of consonants and vowels away. So we have consonant digraphs and we have vowel teams, but that's just a personal choice of mine. Now, when we look at our digraphs, they represent one sound. So when using Elkonon boxes or blending boards like this one that we have here at Decodable Readers Australia, two letters go into the one sound box because it is making one sound. So chip, and it's about to be changed to the word chin. The ch sound is holding one sound, but it is represented by two letters. All right, let's have a look at the word black. There is actually only one digraph in this word, whereas some people will get the B and the L, the bull, confused with a digraph. That's the traditional understanding of blends. But as we know, blends is something that we do to a word. We blend all those sounds together. So the B is representing one sound on its own. Ul is representing one sound on its own, not together. We've got our at sound, which is our vowel, and then we have CK being a digraph of the K sound. Now, this is a special digraph because this digraph is only found at the end of words or the end of a syllable, and it follows that short vowel. It's represented by C and K to make that K sound. All right, here are some fun things that I found on Pinterest and Instagram, and this is just causing confusion. If we have a look at that first one, double sounds are fun. Now, if we have a look even at the first row, CH making our ch sound, it's actually not a double sound, it's a single sound made by two letters. So that can actually cause some confusion with students if that poster is up and it's taught in those ways. And even if you go down the poster, you can see some other things that are incorrect, like the IGH is making a long I sound, and it's got three letters, so I'm not really sure how it fits into double sounds are fun. Another one that I found, which looks absolutely amazing, beautiful font, beautiful pictures, called My Digraphs. But as you can see through it, we've got some digraphs, but we've got some other ones with three letters, and we know now that digraphs is two letters, di meaning two, and graphs means written down, that things like TCH, like hatch, that's actually not a digraph. It's got three letters. It's got another name, which we'll explore very shortly. And let's have a look at the end poster there. This is just a confusion between what is a digraph and what is a blend. We've got some digraphs up the top there, but it's in the same presentation as the traditional blends. And we now know that blends shouldn't be represented as individual sounds because they're making two different sounds. When we're blending words together, we should hear those sounds in isolation. Now, it's okay to teach consonant clusters if what you're doing is segmenting that consonant cluster to hear the two sounds being represented. But as a display, you can see that this could cause confusion to our students. Now, what about three letters? Do we know what three letters is called? So we've got our ch sound, but it can be represented by TCH, like in the word patch and catch and fetch. And we also had the word hatch in our previous slide. Also, our j sound can be represented by DGE, like in the word edge and bridge and dodge. That j sound is spelt DGE when it follows a short vowel. These are actually called trigraphs. Now you can already see that trigraph, T-R-I, is actually representing the meaning of three things written down. So how do I teach digraphs and trigraphs and even up to quadgraphs if you've got four letters making one sound? The first thing you need to do is begin with a sound to print approach. So start with the sound sh and teach that it is represented by the letters S and H together. Now, I personally like to actually tell the students that's called a digraph. They really like using that, I guess, adult-like terminology. And when they find something representing three, I tell them, well, that's a trigraph. And I even had one little boy when I was teaching that would say, oh, I found something with four, what's it called? And they're just excited to use that terminology. But it's up to teachers what terminology they're going to use as long as they are consistent in their classrooms. So once we have explicitly taught that sound to print, we need to teach each digraph one at a time and give them loads of practice so they can really understand and become automated in what a digraph is. I like to do this at word level, blending practice using digraphs and learnt sounds. So if I am introducing the CH sound, The other sounds that follow are represented by letter sound correspondences that I have explicitly taught. So I wouldn't use the word church if I haven't taught the sound being represented by U and R. So I keep the letter sound correspondences in my blending work, as you can see here, using words that I know students will be able to decode. Now, lastly, I would just say make informed decisions about resources that you are going to use in your classroom. So there you have it, an understanding of what is a digraph. No more confusion between what is a digraph, what is a blend. You can now go and be a consumer that's informed and make the right choices around resources for your classroom.